Vietnam Vet Boulevard just runs out. Or Parkway, what is it?
That's
Boulevard,
far.
Parkway?
Yeah. I remember when that highway didn't even run out. I mean, it just ran out into a street.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way,
can I say this real quick before we jump in? It's really pretty
you're the
here.
queen of sports talk
Yeah,
radio.
it is.
It's really pretty in Hendersonville. Like it's been raining for a freaking week straight. I drive
it might
in.
be.
The sun's out. I know it'll probably rain by the time we get out of here, but sun's out. It's so green here. Like this city's really pretty.
You almost wore a tank top, didn't you?
Almost.
Sun's out, guns out.
There you go.
Right.
Hey, tomorrow it's going to be sunny and 69 degrees for the high. How about that?
It's going to be sunny and
That's
69
cold.
degrees. Yeah, that I was going to say.
That's like freezing.
That's my weather right there.
I'm about to go to BYU Provo this weekend for a night game.
You and Alan Stanwyck. I keep coming back to Fletch. Every time you say Provo, I think of Fletch.
That's a Fletch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I've actually seen now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's going to be a low of 50. 50 degrees.
The low tonight here is 49.
What? It's ridiculous. What month is it? Where are we?
I don't know, but fall starts on the 21st. When is that? That's today.
Okay.
There you go.
Fall is here.
Yeah, let's go to Bama JC, and then we'll go to Alan Bell. Bama JC, what is going on? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Long time no talk to.
Hey. No, man, you good?
A couple quick things, man. I got to get some stuff off my chest real quick.
Take your time.
What's going on with Taylor Lewan, dog? I mean, I get it. He had the injury last year. He probably ain't got all the rust off the wheels, and considering no preseason and whatnot. But I mean, he got burnt toasted last week with the 4 sacks on his own watch, and then this past week I saw the pregame warm up. I don't know, man. I hate to be that guy to be like, oh, he's just a big old baby. But dude, he puts more work into his Busting with the Boys podcast than he does with his own team, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I feel that way, but I'm kind of done with it, considering King Henry's still out there busting out the yardage without the man showing up the left side. So with that being said, tighten up, baby. That was a great week. Great week.
Yes, it was.
I want you to know, I'm not mad. I'm not even disheartened about the whole Alabama week. It was a good game. A lot of people on my boy Bryce Young about how he didn't take off and, just run the ball a whole lot. The man made some very good decisions considering he's still just a sophomore. We got some great things going on there in Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans are so spoiled.
I mean, beyond.
Bama JC,
Y'all
this
don't
is
even think it's supposed to be a point, a 1 point or 2 point game.
Oh my gosh, it was
a
close game. I mean, I'm really disappointed.
They're not even happy with winning no more.
You got a young quarterback.
Hey, listen, I'm disappointed it was a close game.
I'm not.
Bama JC.
Oh, yes, I am.
Come on.
I am disappointed.
He's like killing the team.
Sure did.
God, Bryce Young, I know you're young, but let's talk to Alan Bell about that. What is up?
Bama fan in week 3 is making excuses? This is where we are?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Alan Bell joined us from
Sportsline.com. Because they didn't destroy Florida, of all teams. It's not like we're talking about the Citadel.
In the swamp.
Well, I mean, they were 18-point or 15-point favorites. AB, what's up? How are you?
I'm great. Y'all doing all right?
How much of a surprise was that, Bama, Florida?
It was pretty surprising, especially after the first half where Bama was just doing whatever they wanted. I mean, you got to credit Florida. They came back. I'm with Brent. It'd have been nice if Bama could have won by 15 and a half or more. I would have appreciated that. But, no, you got to credit Florida. That was a good comeback. They lost the game, but that was a tough game.
It was. And here's the thing about Alabama that kind of concerns me, because Nick Saban's teams always have that foot on neck move. It was 21-3. And they didn't put the foot on the neck. Yeah. They led them back in the game. And so moving forward, that might be a little haze tinge of a concern, but, I mean, that's an unbelievably good football team for sure. But they did give up 240 yards rushing.
That they did. It was a wild game. It was.
All right. What about the guy with the $25 16-team parlay that came down to Detroit beating Green Bay for $727,000? I'll bet that dude was drinking heavily at halftime when Detroit had that 3-point lead.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so first off, imagine that's you. Like, do you even go to work that day? Like, do you talk to anyone? Do you sit in a dark room? Like, I don't even know how I'd go about that day watching the game. And then the Lions come out and just start winning immediately. That guy had to be sweating bullets that entire night. It was just madness, man. I can't imagine.
So Mr. Babs was talking about this. He's like, you know what I would do? I would go hedge that bet, take out a loan, go put like, $200,000 on
Detroit.
no, opposite. So that if your
Green
parlay,
Bay.
on Green Bay. So if your parlay doesn't hit, you're still winning money.
Yeah.
Like you're covered. And I'm like, yeah. And then it ends in a tie, right?
Right. Yeah.
So all right. So you're right. I mean, that's what you want to do, but you have to find a way in 24 hours to become $224,000 liquid, right? Like you have got to find some cash quick. So yeah, I mean, statistically, yes, that is absolutely the play. That is tough money to get a hold of in one day.
That's a good point.
Here's the other thing. I heard
Not
that
just floating around.
I heard that he used like the sign up free bet thing to make that parlay thing, and that he couldn't hedge it, that he had to roll with Detroit. But rolling with Detroit is rolling with Detroit's part of why that thing got up to $727,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. First, let's give the guy credit, or girl, whoever it was, the better. They hit 15 money lines in a row.
That's amazing.
In the NFL when nobody's winning right now, right? Like, that was amazing in itself. But, yeah, it was a free bet, so they couldn't cash out. So either you do what Don was talking about, you go get a ton of money and you hedge on the other side, or you just roll with it. And, that had to be a crazy day. I'm surprised BetMGM didn't do more to promote it. I would have definitely given away some kind of something, you know what I mean, to bring attention to it because that's good PR.
Yeah. Alan Bell with us. Alan Bell presented by Genesis Auto Brokers. Hate the hassle of traditional dealerships? Start the easiest car buying experience at GenesisAutoBrokers.com.
He's also on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. AB, before we get into some games, how much did Penn State's win over Auburn help their playoff chances? They have wins at Wisconsin and now that home win against Auburn.
Oh, that was huge, right? So to start the year, they were 80-1 to win the title. Before that game against Auburn, they were 40-1. After the game, 22-1, which sounds like a lot. That's the fifth best. They're sitting right now the fifth best odds to win the national championship. So that was a massive, massive win for James Franklin and Penn State. They're having a heck of a year so far. A ton of credit to them.
Yeah, it is a massive win, especially if you didn't take the points or anything. But outside of that, Alan Bell, what you think about this Notre Dame-Wisconsin game? Notre Dame has not been one for me to cover. What do you think going forward with Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's arguably the best game that's on the board this weekend. Look, Sportsline, we got a final score of Notre Dame winning 19-18. It's going to be pretty low scoring. It's going to be a pretty typical Big Ten type game. You look at Notre Dame; they're 12-5 against the spread on short rest, but Wisconsin 5-1 against the spread in non-conference games. So you really have two teams that kind of show up in these games, not necessarily always covering the spread, at least on Notre Dame's side, but this is going to be a battle, and it's going to be a tight one. So if you've got 5.5 on Wisconsin's side as the favorite, Notre Dame with those points, probably a pretty good play.
Alan Bell with us from Sportsline.com. Texas A&M, one of the best defenses in the country. Arkansas without a couple of offensive linemen. A&M by 5.5 on the road. Sam Pittman doing a great job at Arkansas. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, Pittman is. I mean, Arkansas's bought in completely to what he's doing. Look, Sportsline, we got a final score 22-21 in favor of Arkansas here, getting the upset. Look, Arkansas, think about this. Their last 8 games against teams with winning records, lost all of them, straight up. They haven't beaten a team with a winning record in 8 straight. But this is an opportunity for them to do it. The tough part is you look at Texas A&M, they're 7-3 against the spread after 2 or more straight-up wins. So this team kind of builds itself up as it goes. It's going to be a heck of a game, just an old-school Southwest Conference-style game. Probably pretty low scoring as well. Another, really good underplay here.
Got low-scoring games going on. I guess conference players starting to settle in. Guys are settling in. South Carolina, I don't know who that is, but South Carolina maybe Carol Ann plays or cooks for the South Carolina team.
Carol Ann was the little girl in Poltergeist. Right?
Ooh,
Right now.
not talking that.
So you got South Carolina and Kentucky. What you think about that one, Alan Bell? Will Kentucky finally live up to all the talent they got?
Yeah, you got Kentucky at 5.5 favorite on the road against South Carolina. Sportsline, we got a final score, Kentucky 27-18. Look, I think you're catching Kentucky in an excellent position here. Last week, they had a little trouble with UTC. You know, you're catching it to where they got the win. They've got their, kind of hangover game out of the way, and they're going to be super focused on this game, and especially against a team like South Carolina that can and usually does shoot itself in the foot. I think that you're going to catch Kentucky in an excellent spot here. So 5.5, a ton of value. Kentucky probably wins this game by 10, 11 points.
Ooh, I hit.
Texas Tech at Texas. Texas favored by 8.
Yeah, this is a
That was
fascinating
a question
game, right?
mark,
Because
by the way.
Yeah, no, that spread honestly is all over the board.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, it is, because you look at Texas, they're the better team, but they can't stop the run. And Texas Tech is going to run the ball. They're going to move it on Texas. We got a final score, 37-31, Texas winning that game. But you look at historicals here, this is not a good spot for Texas Tech. They're 3-7 their last 10 against the spread on the road. They're 4-12 their last 16 against the spread on short rest. This is just not a good, favorable matchup here. 8 is a weird number. You kind of find yourself in between a touchdown and a field goal. So it's you'll see a lot of people play that number specifically for Texas Tech, but Texas wins this game. You might want to look at maybe Texas in the first half. You could probably find some good value there.
There you go, Alan Bell. Sportsline.com is the website. And AB, before we continue, that's where everybody can get all of this information that you're throwing out there.
Yep, absolutely. You get all the statistical nuggets, how these teams are faring the last 3 games, 7 games, 10 games, you name it. We've got projected scores. We grade each bet as well. So, yeah, anything you need, we got you covered.
Slay, is there a game you're paying attention to?
You know
this
what?
weekend?
I come off the weekend, man, and I'm looking at what the Vols did. 56-0. Like, yeah, I don't know who was playing in the squad scrimmage or something. But yeah, outside of that, Alan Bell, Tennessee, Florida, the game that everybody's waiting on. Tennessee going to the Swamp. I believe. I ain't gonna tell you what I believe. I just want to hear what you believe.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Look, this is going to be a tough game for Tennessee. Florida is just a much better team. They're much better offensively, and they've got a reason to play a little bit of aggressive after last week. Look, Florida's 20-point favorite. I think if you're going to play anything Tennessee-wise, play the first half. You might find Florida a little bit of a hangover after that Alabama game. And Tennessee has started off games actually pretty nicely. If you look at Tennessee and Florida and their points scored in the first half of games, it's almost identical. So if you can catch Tennessee plus 10 or 11 in the first half, I think you can find some great value there. The problem in the full game is this. Dan Mullen at Florida is 80% against the spread after an SEC loss. The man comes back with a vengeance, and I worry about this second half because once Florida kind of puts that foot, on the gas pedal, they're not going to let up, and they're going to want to take a little bit of frustration out. So if you're looking for anything Tennessee, first half might be your play here.
Do you accept that information?
You know what, Alan? I'm going to go back and analyze that for a minute and try to take my fandom out of it, but
Yeah.
you heard me with the Pittsburgh. You heard just go on. Somebody else talk to Alan right now.
At Alan Bell 24/7. If you have a question about a game that we don't get to, let's go ahead and hit it. Indianapolis at Tennessee in the NFL. Titans a 5-point favorite coming off that win Sunday.
I love everything about this game for the Titans, honestly. You look at 5 points, this number is going to go way up, especially if Carson Wentz doesn't play. And I don't know how anybody goes about spraining 2 ankles I've never seen, besides someone falling off a roof. I don't know how you go about doing that. So he's banged up. Their O-line's banged up. Now, I understand that the Titans' offensive line is banged up too, but look, I actually think it's going to play in their favor here because this is an offense that we haven't even seen really open up yet, right? We haven't seen Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill are really all on the same page. So even if they have to use kind of a quick strike offense, I think it's going to build some confidence there. And think about this. There is no team that the Titans nor its fan base would love to get everything corrected after a big win in Seattle than against this team at home and run the score up. So I love the Titans -5. I also love the Titans team total over 26.5. I think the Titans get into the 30s, and I think they handle their business somewhat easily against this Colts team.
Dude, now let me ask you this real quick, Alan.
Just when we thought we didn't like you.
Yeah.
You come storming back.
Yeah. Now I love him. Y'all cleared the way when he walks through. I'm throwing rose petals down for my guy to come through. Alan, do you think that the Colts will be able to score those on that over-under? Sitting kind of high right now.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was going through some numbers, and I found a trend here that I don't think anybody else in the country's found out about yet, okay?
Okay.
So we have had 8 divisional games so far in the NFL, okay?
Yep.
8 of them. When the home team covers, the over is 4-1. When the road team covers, the under is 3-0. And it played again for us last night with Green Bay. Against Detroit.
Oh, it did.
So if you think the Titans are going to cover, take the over. If you think the Colts are going to cover, take the under.
Man, talk that talk, Alan, man. That's how you bounce back and redeem yourself, man. That's how you redeem yourself.
That's the research right
That's
there,
all we're
too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No
In the
emotion.
boom, boom,
Hey,
room.
no emotion involved.
No, Kyle ain't got no roof. He cool. Don't need no roof.
Oh, man. Thank you, AB. Appreciate it. At Alan Bell 24/7 on Twitter if you have a question that we didn't get to about a game that we didn't get to. Thank you, man.
Appreciate y'all.
There he is. Alan Bell.
I'm parlaying that right now.
Sportson.com. You better get it quick because
Yeah.
people listen.
People listen. Yep. So, listen. People listen, so I listen.
You already make the bet while we were sitting here?
I'm about to press place bet. But
He's
what
trying to stall.
No, yeah, what I'm trying to decide right now is because I hit last night. I'm trying to decide, do you parlay this and take the over separately and the Titans covering separately? That's where I'm stuck at.
You know I don't parlay.
Yeah, you never parlay, and you keep winning.
Well,
Well,
I had to chase some money last night.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to bet that damn game.
Guess who parlayed and won last night?
Your boy.
Bingo. That's who.
there you go. All right, that was Alan Bell, presented by Genesis Auto Brokers. Hate the hassle of traditional dealerships? Start the easiest car buying experience at GenesisAutoBrokers.com. That's our guy, AB.
That's why she's the queen of Sports Talk Radio in Nashville.
Right.
When we come back, Jim Wyatt from TennesseeTitans.com will join us again. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. You should be too. 3HL 104.5, the Zone in Hendersonville. Buffalo Wild Wings. Come by and see us. Check out the Vizzy girls, too. The Vizzy hard seltzer. They're handing that out.
Yep, giving it out.
It has
See?
antioxidants in it.
I told you.
Antioxidants, yeah. And I just
Like
found out
vitamin
what
C.
Babs told me what it is.
Yeah, it's got vitamin C in it.
Yep. Helps your
Immune system.
Yes.
This would be equivalent to like Gatorade.
So instead of taking
Some
like
sports
No,
drink.
no.
Okay.
not
Say-
quite.
Okay, yeah.
instead of taking like actual vitamin C today, just come to Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville and drink a Vizzy
There you go.
or several.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
They're very excited.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a tray full of them.
So if you were trying to hydrate on the court, you would drink Gatorade.
Correct. You would not drink.
But if you were trying to
Vizzy.
hydrate at a tailgate,
There you go.
boom, see?
Look at you.
Add a little extra vitamin C.
You're welcome.
Jim Wyatt joins us, I hope. TennesseeTitans.com. Jim, you there?
Okay, you got it.
All
So
right.
He's good.
Carson Wentz reportedly is rolling around on a scooter with 2 sprained ankles. Like, you might have some working knowledge on what that's like, but I don't. So I don't know how you play football with 2 sprained ankles, but I've seen a lot of quarterbacks come and go, and a lot of them seem to be really tough on Sunday.
And when they get tough,
Jimmy.
the tough get going, but they don't really get going.
Oh, you got me?
There you go, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got you. How's this guy going to, like, he's rolling around. For those that don't know, Jim fell off a ladder, and it was a really traumatic experience. But he's good now. That's why we can bring
can
this
show- yeah.
story into the equation.
What?
But this guy has 2 sprained ankles. He's rolling around on a scooter. I've seen a lot of tough quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford being one of them, but that seems like a hard play with 2 sprained ankles to be ready on Sunday.
It is, but I will say I saw Steve McNair walking in a walking boot, I think the day before the AFC Championship game, and he was out there playing the next day. You know, so it's I think a lot of times those walking boots are more just to take the pounds off of the leg and to keep the stress off of it. I don't know how significant those ankle sprains are. I know that competitive guys want to play, so maybe they're watching them early. I didn't see the play because that was kind of during the window when the Titans were on the field in warm-ups, and I was down there. So I didn't actually see him get hurt, and then I came up and saw Easton was in the game, seen some of the reports out of Indy, real vague on what the prospects will be. I think the clues to watch will be obviously the injury reports. It's not going to – I'll be surprised if he practices Wednesday. If he's not out there Thursday, not out there Friday, then I think you're probably going to get your answer. But if he's on a scooter with two walking boots, that's not a great sign.
Speaking of injuries, were you down there, Taylor Lewan? Did you witness it? And where are we there?
Yeah, it happened right in front of me. I mean, there were several of us that were standing there, and Taylor came out in a great mood, ready to play. He was running, doing individual stuff, trying to get ready, and then all of a sudden, the knee kind of buckled on him, and he went down and kind of walked right past us, with a limp and obvious discomfort, and it didn't look great. I will say that, the fact that he was back out on the sideline for the game in sweats, didn't look like he had any kind of big brace on it and seemed like he was moving around okay. I think that was encouraging. And then Mike Vrabel asked about him yesterday, and he kind of paired, Rodger Saffold in the same description, saying that, we'll see if those guys are available to play at the end of the week. Now, again, Vrabel's not going to really give anything away, but, just reading between the lines, it didn't make it sound like it was anything to be worried about as far as a season-ending deal. But again, we'll see how things develop. I just think everybody goes through different phases of recovery from those ACLs, and Taylor obviously working through it both physically and mentally, and clearly maybe just not there yet.
Jim, when they loaded the plane, did you happen to see them put A.J. Brown's hands back on the plane with him so they can bring him back? Or what?
He had a tough day. I mean, and that's what's surprising is you just don't see that happen much with him. he works so hard. He catches the ball effortlessly in practice. We've seen him do it on Sundays so many times, and then, Sunday just wasn't right. And, I think part of it maybe was him pressing. I mean, I think he wanted to do well, obviously, with DK Metcalf on the other sideline, and certainly a lot of hype with those two guys coming in. AJ kind of, cracked a joke on himself after the game about his family members giving him grief about it. So he'll get it straight. I'm not worried about him. It was surprising because that's, targeted 9 times. Some of those balls weren't catchable, but several of them were. And, it's a surprise when you have one drop from AJ. When you have 3, 2 or 3, then that's not something we're used to seeing. So he needs to get it right. I mean, Julio got it right this past week. Big bounce back performance. Then get both these guys rolling. It's certainly going to help. And then eventually, Josh Reynolds was brought in here to be a factor, and so far he's been a no factor. So I think if you look at the Titans and see some areas where they still can improve, got to get healthy on the O-line, got to get healthy at receiver, got to be more consistent catching the football, and then I think, certainly some things could continue to get better.
Josh Reynolds did show up on the stat sheet, though, with an illegal formation where he strangely thought he was playing arena football moving toward the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. That was weird.
There were some. I mean, you look at the game, and Titans are able to come back and win, but they still did some things where they were not perfect. I mean, we just talked about AJ. It wasn't a great day for him. Josh Reynolds with a bad penalty there. Nick Westbrook, with the bad roughing the punter penalty. I know you like to be aggressive. Still they weren't completely clean in protection, although the O-line deserves a lot of credit for paving the way for Derrick Henry. But he gave up some sacks and some hits. So great to win, but still obviously areas where this team can be better.
Jim Wyatt with us, TennesseeTitans.com on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Jim, from 2008 to the first game of 2019 against the Colts, Titans just 3-19. They have won 2 of the last 3. Are they beginning to turn this thing around under Vrabel?
Well, I think, they're better. I mean, some of those teams were just straight up bad. I mean, and that's part of the reason why the streak was as long as it was. I mean, the Titans were terrible teams, and they lost a better Colts team. And then, of course, there were a lot of games during that stretch where the Titans, were in a position to win and just couldn't do it. I mean, they just inexplicably just kind of blew games against them. So I know that had been a source of frustration for fans and for players. A lot of the guys on this team now didn't have anything to do with most of those losses to the Colts. And, the turnover this year, I think it was, 17, 18 new guys in the 53. And again, some of these guys are part of the reason this team is now turning that trend. But in order to win this division and in order to kind of establish yourself in this division, which this team is starting to do, you got to beat the Colts. I mean, this is a game the Titans need to win. They played terrible in the home opener, bounced back last week against Seattle. You can't come back here and give one back. So, Titans need to come out, play a lot better. Certainly think they'll be hungry. It's going to be kind of a special weekend with the Oilers coming to town, kind of their tribute week. So that's going to be cool at the stadium to see, Bum Phillips go on the Ring of Honor, see a lot of these guys back. You want to put on a show for those guys and make it a special day.
Jim Wyatt, TennesseeTitans.com. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you. We'll talk with you next week.
Okay, y'all have a good week. Thank you.
At Jay Wyatt Sports, TennesseeTitans.com. When we come back, I watched the Manning Monday Night Football cast. I don't know about y'all last night. It was gold. It actually got my wife to stop and sit down and watch.
Nice.
It was so good. We've got a little bit about Peyton and his 40 time. Also, Shane Beamer had a rant you need to hear. That's the South Carolina coach. They're playing Kentucky this weekend.
Carolina's coach.
South Carolina's coach, yeah.
Yep.
Carol Ann's coach?
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Carol
He's funny, man.
He is.
He's
He
funny.
is funny.
You'll hear both those things when we come back. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. Come see us. Ron Slade doing the Miller Lite Toast at 4:45. Be here for that.
Beer.
Nashville Tuesday edition, 3HL on 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville, 310 Indian Lake Boulevard. Come by and see us. It is a Titans football feast. Rodger Saffold, Titans offensive guard, will be here at 5 o'clock.
The OG.
You know, there's another OG coming in here.
Another offensive line OG?
Yes.
Who would that be?
Savage Life.
Ramon Foster will be here 420. He lives in Humble. He calls it Humble Hendersonville.
Yeah.
This is his neck of the woods.
That's where I was. I was almost late.
Hanging out with him
Hanging
in
out.
Humble Hendersonville.
Yeah, we was having a good little talk, a little brotherly talk.
Were you shooting off fireworks?
No, not this time. Mine, yeah. Always fireworks going on.
Joy 104.5 The Zone each Tuesday as we broadcast live for our Tuesday football feast at Buffalo Wild Wings. Stop by. We're making a tour out of this thing. Next week, we're in Gallatin. Next Tuesday, we're in Gallatin.
I feel like we got a good crowd so far.
And it's picking up.
Hendersonville's picking it up a little bit. It's 4:06. Here's the thing. Y'all know if you're headed to Hendersonville to go home, you know how bad the traffic is. Just pull off Indian Lake Boulevard and come into Buffalo Wild Wings.
Man.
And have some wings, have some beer. It's 2 for on the traditional wings. You order 6, you get 12.
Sure do. And they good.
You got some, you're going to get some more.
I'm getting something to go, too. Yeah, I'm dinner. I'm dinner tonight.
Blam, give it some more.
Yeah. Guess what? Hermitage set the bar really high, though.
Yeah, Hermitage
So
was
when
great
you come,
last week.
we need the energy.
Yeah, because at
Need the energy.
4:45 in 38 minutes, Ron Slay is going to do the Miller Lite football toast.
Yeah.
And this is the Sports Talk Radio live broadcast element that's sweeping the nation.
That's right.
We've done one of them.
That's right.
And it went crazy. So they're going to give out 24 free Miller Lights at 4:45.
Boom Boom Room members walking in. That's what I'm
I
talking
see
about.
the Boom Boom Room shirt over there.
In the building. See, there we go.
Are
there we go.
Are any of y'all that are here excited about the Miller Lite toast at 4:45? Slay, I'm gonna need your help.
Oh.
No, that was pretty good, actually.
That was good. I don't know. Should I touch that? I think that.
Yeah,
I think we
you
need.
should
I think we
save
need
it.
to do a little bit more.
Hey! Hey, excuse me! Is everybody ready for the toast? Make some noise! It's live.
4:45.
It's live. It's
4:45 with Miller Lite. That's coming up.
Live and direct.
They got these cool Miller Lite cups too.
Yeah, you know what? Next time I ought to do like a concert, Babs, and put my mic out. Like, people repeat after me.
Yes. No.
Look at Kirby put his light in there. That's right, Kirby. This is the platform, baby.
310 Indian Lake Boulevard. Be here. Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. We would love to see you. Big Money, the OG from J. Martin Ramon Foster will be here at 4:20.
Yeah,
and Rodger Saffold at 5 o'clock.
Big Saffold. And he's going in the Boom Boom Room.
Listen, you go to war with those two guys.
Oh, man, what? Oh, we
Put you at center?
yeah,
Those two guys at guard?
Yeah.
I'll run behind it.
That's it. Yeah.
And if somebody injured, like, we
I'll
can move
throw
Saffold
behind
back
it.
to left tackle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put him on the left guard.
There you go.
Are you saying Bone is available? Does he have his cleats in the trunk like
Hey,
Mark Mariani?
The man always ready to go. He just, you know what I mean? Got to have a little time of preparation. Get James to get a trainer James to get on the line.
I was going to say,
James get him right.
James might have some work to do because I know after you play for a while,
You said that yesterday.
Yeah.
you don't want to do
No, you don't.
anything. You're done.
Yeah, he need a month.
Speaking of, J.J. Redick, he's probably
Yes.
done too. He hadn't worked out in forever, right?
No. See, and then,
J.J. Redick retiring.
and I don't think JJ would have left. They pissed JJ off.
Is that what
So
happened?
So when JJ was getting ready to leave, I think he was with the Wizards. He'd asked to be closer to his family. And they told him, okay, we got you. And when they came back, they shipped him to Dallas.
Oh.
And he was like, wait, y'all said y'all was going to get me closer to my family. And
Guess what? I'm going to get
happen in
closer
New
to my
York.
family.
Yeah, so I ain't get up. He
Dude,
probably would
are
play
you-
2
Great
more
shooter,
years.
man. Great shooter.
You
Dead
know,
eye.
I mean, my love for J.J. Redick is like ridiculous.
Yes.
I adore that guy. But I will say this: I'm surprised that his career was that long.
Yes.
Like I was all about him at Duke. You know, I'm a monster Duke fan. Like that guy Man,
Yep.
he'll get your blood boiling. I was shocked he lasted that long.
You know what's
in the
funny
NBA.
about all the
Duke guys,
all the
especially with
hated,
that stigma, yep.
all the hated Duke guys, and he's one of them. I loved him.
Yeah, but
that
he
weird?
is absolutely one of them because he
Yeah.
played with so much passion.
Yeah, and see, he fed
just
off
would
of it.
needle
Yep.
you too.
Yep.
I mean, he
Yep.
wasn't Grayson Allen, where you're like, I think he's kind of a
Right.
crappy
Yep.
person.
butthole.
Like, but Reddick was just, I mean, he was in your face. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many taunting flags, if he played in the
But he'd
NFL,
gotten-
would
yeah.
J.J. Reddick have gotten, right?
Yeah, he would have got
I mean,
texts and everything.
He
It
would be
been so
broke
serious,
after
yeah.
15 years in the league because he'd just be fine after fine
Yeah.
after fine. But
The year, his senior year, what him and Adam Morrison did for college basketball was
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes.
That was one for the ages. And I do want to say, let me clear this up too. J. Martin said earlier that he was a role player.
I heard him and I texted you. I was like, no, he's not.
He came into
That's
the
my
league
guy.
expected to be a role player, just be a shooter. Once he got into the league after Orlando went to the finals, he was much more than that. He was a starter, and Doc Rivers said it. In order for us to win, this is with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin in his prime, DeAndre Jordan, 3 All-Stars. We got to have J.J. Redick going, not in the beginning, but the entire game. So we would come out and designate 5 plays. Our first 5 plays are going to J.J. Redick
To
just
get
to get
him
him going.
going?
Yeah, because we need him.
Yeah.
That's not the role of a role guy. My guy, C.J. Watson, who will be here soon, when I ain't even gonna tell you, but he'll be here soon. You know, we're gonna get him on there. But that was a role guy. You know, the guy coming off the bench to fill a role for a starter and buy minutes for a guy to come back in. 12 to 13 to 14 minutes a game, that's a role guy.
Yeah.
25 to 30 minutes a game is not a role guy. So I'm just maybe, boom.
By the way, I'm going to Provo, and they are inducting Jimmer Fredette into their Hall of Fame at halftime.
Really?
Jimmer.
I'm like, what's taking so long? He should have been in there
He
a long
sure
time
should've.
ago,
The
right?
second he
Golly.
got done.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You talking about fill it up.
I mean, you want to talk about a fan frenzy
Now-
with that dude?
I expected him to do what J.J. Redick did, honestly.
Yeah.
Being able to handle the ball the way he could. Like,
No D, though.
oh, no, he can't guard Drew with his hands up in the catcher's outfit.
I put that on my Facebook page. I'll put that on Twitter. So I said 2 teams would not score last week. I said Tennessee Tech would not score, and I said South Carolina would not score.
Yes, you did.
They kicked 2 field goals, and Slay is on the text strand like they scored 100 points.
Hey, man. I'm gonna
You were all in.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about me, man. If I ever get the opportunity to be right, I'm leaning all the way in.
Well, Shane Beamer went on a rant. I haven't even heard this,
Oh, it's good.
It's great.
but I've seen all kinds of stuff about this.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Shane, obviously they've got a really good defensive line over there. Just what were they doing to maybe make things physical on the offensive side and maybe being able to get a push?
Who was doing?
Georgia's defensive line. What were they doing to maybe make things difficult on the offense?
They've got like 105-star football players on their defense. They have a defensive lineman that weighs 340 pounds and runs better than everybody on this call. They've got 5-star defensive backs. They're big and physical and fast. I mean, other than that, they're really freaking good. That's why they have the top defense in the country. They're hard to run the football on. So there wasn't some magical scheme they came out with tonight. They got 5-star recruits everywhere, and they play really physical. Damn.
Damn.
Like, did I have to explain that to you? Damn.
Okay, and the best part of that, too, it's a Zoom for, like, this post-conference, and his facial expressions are classic. Like, go find it on Twitter
Yes,
and
go.
just watch it with no sound. And his face is like,
Let's go.
come on, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's really good.
That
South
was
Carolina
fun.
and Kentucky coming up this weekend, and
And I'm gonna
it's
be
o-
real.
It's only a 5-point spread.
Savage life.
Big Ramon Foster.
Savage life.
He walked. He walked up on
I
guard.
scared the hell out of Bam. You did say it. You did say he was gonna see it.
All right, Ramon Foster will join us when we come back. Also, we'll go through that Manning cast deal with the 40-yard sprint for Peyton Manning. Him talking about that. That's next. Live at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. We'll be right back.
Listening to
Lone Pronto and 20.
the
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Broadcasting live at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. Davenport just ordered some cauliflower wings, didn't you?
You know this with ranch and celery.
Good job, Babs.
Got the healthy part in there, too.
Traditional wings, flats. That's what I do. Ramon Foster at the table.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Bring a little credibility in here.
I'll take 4.
Let's try this again. Ramon Foster at the table.
Yeah.
That is.
This is your town now.
See, humble Hendersonville. We're here.
Humble Hendersonville.
Humble Hendersonville.
All right.
I don't know if you heard earlier, I said this city is beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful day. Everything's green and well manicured. Like, it's pretty.
Everything's green. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they holding on for dear life out here.
It's green on top of green.
They are, but you got to see where we're at. It is, it's vast over there.
Yeah.
They are building on top of building.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the way, but we're not quite Brentwood. So.
I heard Slay went to see you today, and I asked him, I said, did you guys light some fireworks? 'Cause I heard that the two of you guys love to do that.
Brent, no lie. Our neighbors have gotten to the point, it's like, we're not even going to Nashville anymore. That's how big it is. They even donated money to like a Venmo to like, all right, you guys go do it.
I don't even want to hear about it. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Didn't
We didn't see it in everything.
Didn't Slay having a little adventure on this last one?
Yeah, I got shot in the knee on the last firework.
See?
Shot in the knee. I was down for a minute.
I'll say what? I'll say something though. Before JPP,
on the last one.
Before JPP, I would have held one of those big mortars.
Yeah.
I would have held one.
Yeah.
Just to directionally hold it. I would have.
And now you know.
Now I'm like, nah.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
From what I allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's tough.
Can't confirm nor deny.
Nah.
All right, Titans with the big win over the weekend, and you guys go savage on your show, man. You have football players that just like to curse and stuff all over the place.
Shoot.
You knew I was going to go right back to it.
No, Brent. I was just like, the thing about I love for athletes to come on.
If people missed it, this
Rashawn
morning.
Evans, Titans linebacker, on with, and Ramon, God love him. God love you. You just kept trying to go, like, yeah.
You were like, it's PG.
I did.
PG.
I was like, it's PG. It's kids on the way to school. Like, let's bring it back. And one thing I like for athletes to like highlight themselves. Okay, show people your personality. Think about football and basketball. Mm-hmm. I know what he looked like all day long.
Right.
I know what he sounded like because he's a slay maker. You feel me? Like I know all of the headband. I was wearing a headband in middle school because why? He wore one.
Talk.
But football players, mask.
Right.
Okay, if I ask you who was the right guard on the Chicago Bears, can't even what his face look like.
Yeah.
Ain't got a clue.
Could be standing next to you and would know.
Would not know. The thing about football players are you'll have like a 6-foot wide receiver. He can walk right through the airport. Why? Because the helmet hides them. But Dame Lillard walked through.
Oh, yeah, everybody.
I know Dame Lillard. Yep. You feel me? Yep. So football players, when you get that opportunity, get on air to say something. People are listening, and I was just like,
to promote you.
My God.
Yeah.
I was trying to bring it back, man.
Yeah. Well, Rodger Saffold's going to be here in a little bit, so we'll go from.
You want to talk about a
Sharp.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We'll go from one OG to the next.
I'll say this: lineman, offensive lineman.
What is it? I mean, seriously, it is. You have the big uglies.
Yeah.
Oh, the country strong. But I'm telling you. Offensive linemen are the smartest, some of the smartest in the game.
Ron was asking me something yesterday about offensive linemen. Like, what do you guys do as far as like 5 is 1? Like, if somebody's having a bad day, like nobody steps outside the ring and be like, "Hey, y'all better go talk to him," because it's the only group I think in all sports, basketball, especially AAU, a bad NBA team, bad college team, 5 stars can go to one team and turn around the whole team. One player. Can turn around the whole team. There's not any other sport, I think, besides offensive linemen, any other position where 5 got to go as 1. 2 can be going this way, but the other 3 need to be doing that. So because of that, you build a bond, you build a relationship, you know how to talk to people. Guy I played with, David DeCastro, didn't talk at all. But by the time he got into the fold, gained trust of us, we trusted him back, he's as talkative as anybody else, but we wouldn't talk outside the group. And because of that, you find bonds, you're able to communicate better. everybody got, that's what I think the difference is. And besides that, nobody really says much to us. The biggest group on the field, one of those type of things where they hate to see us coming because we are one. Like, we get so much and we talk so much. Like, the thing about the offensive line, we'll have intricate conversations about the war in Iraq or politics or your kids or, man, it's the smallest things. And you grow a bond. You get so close to one another to where you got to start kind of having arguments. One thing we used to do is play devil's advocate. Like, we were so much alike in one group, like I said, to where we talk so much where I can't agree with you today, Brent. You said it's rainy outside. No, it's sunny today, Brent. You got a white car. No, that car is beige. But that's because it challenged you to be intellectual, it challenged you to find something else to grow. And that type of stuff right there, you compound that and you end up with a special type of group. And that's why I feel like most O-linemen finally take advantage of highlighting themselves behind the mic, though.
So let me ask you this then, because this kind of plays into Taylor Lewan and what everybody's talking about. And, we had a caller call in today, right? Earlier today. All he's doing is his podcast and Busting with the Boys and all of that. And Taylor is one of those guys that is a leader in that group and has kind of morphed into that role because he wasn't when he first got here and became a Titan. But how, as a group, do you kind of navigate all of that in a guy coming back from injury and everything? And a guy that maybe you don't necessarily feel comfortable with calling out.
Yeah, the thing about Taylor is probably this and how the guys dealt with, him having this pod. I think the pod is awesome. The Busting with the Boys thing is awesome. It's got a great following. People, the boys, all of that is freaking beautiful. It's crazy, too.
It's really good.
The two main hosts they got girls. I think Will Compton just said he's having a girl, and Lewan got 2 girls, too. It's crazy. Busting with the Boys. But,
baby girls, yeah.
Baby girls. But you just kind of pull them to the side and just say, hey, dog, we got to focus on us. That's why I think so many people were upset about last week with him saying something, because most time offensive linemen don't put that out there. I think the most appropriate thing was what Diggs did that one week when they lost, make it a team thing. Or this past week where AJ said he couldn't even catch Corona if he was out there. You do it in that aspect. The thing about Lewan is I think he's the longest tenured guy here. Mm-hmm. So he holds that means of respect. So you got to kind of let him work through it. Now it's one of those things where you got a guy who's a savvy vet like Rodger and be like, hey, dog, we got to get tight. And that's all you really wanted from him. And I really, really hated that he wasn't able to play last week, because the one thing that sucks about losing in football is you got an entire week to get back. And because of that, if you get injured in pregame after having a bad week, what is the crowd going to say? Even if it ain't true. I hated that, because the crowd is going to say, oh, you just don't want to play. Yeah. Well, in reality, he may have actually had a knee strain or calf. I actually thought it was Achilles or calf.
It looked like something happened, man.
Yeah,
okay, well, we had looked at that Budda Baker play over and over, and it was everywhere. And somebody said, oh, he just slipped. And I looked at it and I said, I feel like he's missing strength somewhere in either that repaired knee or, to me, it felt like he stepped wrong and then tried to, compensate, and his leg was like, nope, we're not ready to do that yet.
I've been there a little bit before, too, because my next to last year, hyperextended my knee. And the situation's got to be perfect in order for you to go. Taylor went out there, was hot, going against a fast defense, a potential future Hall of Famer. I think right now he's top 3 as far as finishing in sacks with Chandler Jones. When I extended my knee, I had 4 weeks to get right because it happened at the beginning of camp. Coach told me if it wasn't raining, if it wasn't 82 to 79 degrees outside, you wasn't going to play, because I wasn't going to put you in those situations. Why? Because the ground was wet. It was a little bit slower for the defense to get off, and it was cool, meaning I wasn't going to be doing too much with my leg to get it going. Ron knows this because he's torn an ACL. Yeah. The biggest thing you got to do is get that leg firing all the time. Now, I'll say this. There's 2 guys that had ACLs on that team, Bud versus Taylor. Bud goes forward for the most part, so it's probably a little bit different for his training. And Bud is also a physical specimen. Taylor going backwards, putting that weight on it with the brace around it. I'm sure he's still teetering to get it right. I actually thought, I was like, man, put him on a pitch count. That's what I was thinking, but I'm not a trainer. So it sucks because now the narrative is there. The best thing he can do is, what does LeBron do in the playoffs? 0 dark 30?
Yeah.
Do nothing. Yeah. Just show me. And that's offensive line life for you. Nobody really wants to hear our name unless you're getting a Pro Bowl or All Pro or something. No penalties, no sacks, no anything. Just work, and that's the job.
Ramon Foster with us from J. Martin Ramon at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. Come by and see us. Make sure when you come in to get your name in the box. We're giving away Colts Titans tickets coming up at the toward the end of the show, so get that done. Having said all that about Lewan going down, next man up mentality. But you talked about how tight the 5 are on the offensive line. So you start inserting people at right tackle, and you had to insert people at left guard, at left tackle, and still Derrick Henry, 35 carries, 182 yards, and Tannehill, 347 yards passing. How impressed were you by the play of that group?
I even shouted them out during the game.
Yeah.
I was like, that left side of the line did that thing. And you know why, though? Because those guys have been around for a little while. Who was it? It was Sembrello and Brewer. Sembrello and Brewer.
Yeah.
But the thing about them is they're a part of that group. That 5, we always had the starting 5. When we walk, everybody walk. And the thing that you want is a culture in that room to whereas if you're walking in a starting position or you got to come in and fill in for somebody, you better make sure you answer that call. And that's what those guys did because, truth be told, you got some older guys on the line now. If Brewer and Sembrello are smart, I'm going to be real, selfishly, I'm like, I don't care if you miss a game. I want to be up next. I'll say this too. They did well in a pinch on the road. Thing is, when teams get film on those 2 guys, how will they react? Because it's one thing to go in as a partial starter, but when you're the guy, you better answer the call every single week. That's why it's the beauty of being a starter too.
Well, and they're backups for a reason. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
I mean, love them. Did a great
Until
job.
they're not.
There's a reason.
Until they're
right.
not.
And
That's not your job.
That's why Vrabel made the speech that he made.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they stepped up.
Exactly. And you got to give it up to them. And I know when they walked in, I was watching Rodger talk to Brewer on the sideline. I'm seeing Sembrello just being calm. And is it Sembrello or Sembrello? Sembrello. I'm watching them being cool, and I'm just like, okay, they're in the zone. And the best thing they can do for those guys, too, if you're going to be out, stay out. If Lewan is down, they need to tell Sembrello right now. Like, Lewan's not going this week, you got it.
Right.
I think that's the best thing you can do for him. That way he can focus in on not just I may or I may not. So hats off to those dudes. They did exactly what you needed them to do. Young guys that were looking for an opportunity. I've always heard people say, and I believe it too, stars are born every year in this league too. So given that opportunity, they should take a full advantage of it.
Man, you've been on the road and you've built up a week where you got to put a lot into the week, whether it's going to a hostile environment, you got guys down, whatever it may be, and you go out there and you get that win. How do you come back and put the same thing and the same focus and the same energy into even a bigger game because you won that game? Like, that next week is no letdown. Like, I know personally you've been through that, whether it been in division or outside division. How do you get the same energy out of the group?
One thing you got to realize, it's just hard to win in the league. It is. And whatever you did the last week, you have to continue to do it. And I think the approach that the Titans took last week was they had a chip on their shoulder. It wasn't the offseason where they was hearing everybody coming to town, the ESPN truck,
right,
and we're saying this and Julio. Like, now you realize it's reality. Get to work and show people what you do. I think the best means of being successful in this league is put your head down and work. Look up when it's time for a bye week and you go right back to work. Because as soon as you get too high, you're going to get knocked down on your back.
Isn't it amazing to watch Derrick Henry, man? Because, like,
It is.
the running back position has been devalued in the league.
Yeah.
And when his deal came up, my take, and a lot of people had the same take that have watched him.
You don't pay running backs.
You don't pay running backs, but you pay that running back.
Yeah.
Because of what he is. And it, for him, 2 weeks in, here we go again. He looks faster
Here we
to
go,
me.
Jim.
And, yeah.
Here we go, Jim.
Every time I call Joe Honk, I say, Tony.
So Derrick Henry leads the NFL in rushing with 240 yards. He's second in the NFL in yards rushing with 201 yards after contact. Then Joe Mixon's third with 196 total rushing yards. It's amazing to watch this guy just keep going, man.
It is. And you know what's crazy? And I'm sure we all saw this when we were looking at the game. You knew when the levee was about to break.
He's going to pop one.
Yeah.
It was setting up.
When he had that, 5 yards up the middle, I was like, this looks familiar.
And by the way, on that 60-yard run, if you go back and watch, then Braylo just caves that whole side of the line.
So he's supposed to. And what's so crazy, Derrick Henry had been keeping the front side for so long.
Yeah.
That the backside contained bit so hard he wasn't catching him. A D lineman is not catching him. I text somebody. I was like, how is he this fast and this big? that's my.
Yeah,
and then I'll say this.
I say it all the time.
Hats
Like,
off.
we're spoiled.
Yes.
We are watching it because he's like, oh, business decision. I'm like, no, Derrick Henry is that fast. We forget.
I'm convinced that Diggs did not want to. He had stiff arms
I'm with you on
in
that.
his mind, and he wanted to run fast enough to look like he gave the effort. But that's a 5'9", 175-pound cornerback that Derrick Henry ran around.
But I think he's just that fast.
I'll
say this. Hats off to his middle school coach, his high school coach, and college. Because you know what? My coaches were really good.
You're talking about moving him?
A lot of coaches?
Yeah.
He
Hey,
would
Derrick,
not be a running back.
put your hand in the dirt.
Yep.
Yep.
DN or something like that. Yep.
DN, linebacker, and tight end.
And you know what? He'd probably be a dang good one of those, too.
Like LeBron.
Yeah.
If LeBron
Listen.
was a player. Yeah.
He's a couple big years away from the Hall of Fame, and NFL research just put this out today. Most career games with 150-plus rushing yards and 2+ rushing touchdowns since at least 1950. Jim Brown, number 1 with 13. LaDainian Tomlinson, number 2 with 12. Derrick Henry and Barry Sanders tied for 3rd with 10.
Tough group, man.
And the ones behind him, Eric Dickerson and Emmett Smith with 9. Like, all of these names in
gold
this
jackets
group.
right there. Yeah.
He's doing some special stuff. I'll say this. I do sometimes look at the front side. I'm like, man, if he just hit the hole, like, in between gap A and gap A, center to center, guard to guard, I'm like, but that just ain't his game. I know a lot of people are going to critique that, and I'll be like, God, just go. But his game is bash you, front side, then catch me backside. Like, and then if he adds the passing to it.
So as a former offensive lineman, you saw that coming. At some point, he's going to kick that backside.
Talent always wins when it work hard. That guy is good. That's one thing I'll say. We tried to protect Le'Veon as much as we could.
Yeah.
Get him to the playoffs. That's all Mike T used to say. Get him to the postseason. Get Derrick Henry to the postseason. Yeah. Like, if you got to find depth in the O-line, get it. But get him to the postseason is all you want. And, yes, you can see it. Again, I think it may have been the beginning of the 3rd quarter. They ran a 4-yard run, 4 or 5-yard run to the right, and he started falling forward. I was like, oh,
here we go.
You know it, Brent. And that's the thing about the running game. It sucks. It ain't going to ever be pretty. It's dude versus dude. And all you're trying to do, what's crazy, most people think you're supposed to just move a guy off the line of scrimmage. Brent, I'm moving him from here to the end of this computer. 12 inches, that's all I need. And then you let him work.
And you got a big monster getting through that little bit of hole.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay, listening to you, I need you to be on Monday Night Football on Peyton and Eli's
That'll be dope, yeah.
Yeah, I need you to jump in on that. Have you watched it?
I have. I love it.
Yeah.
By the way,
you would fit in great.
They're putting up big numbers.
Yeah.
Are you mad if you're the other channel?
I mean, you just do your job.
I talked about this to Mr. Babs last night because he's like, why would you watch anything else? If I'm a fan of one of those teams, though, you miss a little bit of the game in listening to them. I love it, but if that's my team, I'm recording the Mannings and I'm going back to watch it later. Yeah.
Interesting.
But here's the numbers real quick before break. Peyton and Eli Manning averaged 1.86 million viewers for their second Manning cast on ESPN2 last night.
Wow.
More than double the 800,000 viewers that they had in week 1.
And there's going to be more than this.
It's growing. Yeah, it's growing. Can you hang, Ramon?
Yeah. I'm home.
Ron Slay has his Miller Lite toast.
Yeah, it's coming
up. They're handing out Miller Lights
We're
right
going
now.
up, B-Dub.
Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. Rodger Saffold will be here at 5 o'clock. We got OG plus OG. I don't know. We just need a center. We'll be right back on 104.5 The Zone. Hendersonville. That's where we are. We'll be in Gallatin next week. Great crowd. Hendersonville representing. We've still got an hour and 12 minutes for y'all to get here. Get your name in the box when you come in.
Put your name in the box.
Register. Don't do the rest of that. Just get your name in the box. Your chance to win Titans Colts tickets. We'll give them away in the 545 segment. Also, Kelly with Buffalo Wild Wings has 2 club level seats to give away.
That's the life right there.
So
Ramon, you're disqualified.
multiple chances to win. Ramon Foster is with us live in Hendersonville, your neck of the woods.
Humble Hendersonville, baby. Simple Sumner, we're here. Live in effect, baby.
He brought the gang with him when he walked in.
Yeah.
What time do you leave the house for that morning drive show?
I try not to leave after 5:10. I try not to leave after 5:10. I actually said it earlier. I was like, I got to start getting up and making my own breakfast or doing something. So I'm getting up now, and I think 4:25, and I'm out by 5:10. Look at Babs. Babs like, nah.
She used to do that. Yeah.
Do not miss those days.
She used to be on the air at 4 o'clock in the morning. And
with makeup and hair done, all of it.
So how
all the
early
time,
did you,
right?
There might have been every single day where I only had one eye done, but yes.
How early did you have to get up to get up? Like, when were you officially going?
Well, in year 1 of that job, it was like 2 a.m. I was up because I would want to know what was going on. Now, in year 5 of that job, it was about 3:30 rolling in at about 3:55, you know.
That's all it is.
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
It is time for our
Like it's time.
Our weekly feature on the Tuesday show at Buffalo Wild Wings. Ron Slay is going to deliver the Miller Lite toast.
People want it. It's time.
Toast it.
Come on, Ron.
The people want it. They have to have it.
I like these cups, too,
Miller
by the
Lite
way.
has given
Like
away
nice cups, yeah.
Miller Lite has given away 24 free beers.
What?
And Ron Slay is going to deliver the toast. You don't need a mic. Is that what we're doing here?
He doesn't, but Ramon, will you just don't hold it too close because he's loud.
All right, y'all.
Hey, so if you got cups, put them in the air. Put them on up. Don't be shy.
Keep it
We're all
clean.
family here.
Don't Rashawn us.
We're in the building. This right here, this is the Miller Lite toast. We want to thank Miller Lite. Thank y'all for coming out. Every Tuesday, we're going to wash away whatever it was Sunday, whether it was a win or a loss. And this right here replenishes us for this Sunday coming up. So, on 3, tighten up. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Nobody's cheering because they're drinking.
I was going to say, there's no cheering.
That was almost like Pastor Ron, like
was good.
delivering communion. It's like football communion.
Big brother.
She's like, did you drink it all? He's like, don't cheat me.
Yeah.
Gotta do a radio show over here.
Ron's got a great point, though. You wash away the weekend and start over on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's why I ask you. Like, but how do you prepare for the next week? You put so much into it, but if you keep it and let it linger, that's when people start talking about the hangover.
Nah,
Did the Steelers do it the same way? So did you start the prep for the next game on Wednesday?
Yeah. Monday is brutal.
Yeah.
Win or loss. Y'all can ask Rodger that
Treatment.
too. That not film.
Oh, film, yeah.
Because that monster block you thought you had, he tripped.
Yeah. It wasn't quite that.
You feel me? Or that sack or that you thought was on you, no, your left tackle stepped on your foot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot. Like, it's never as good, never as bad. I hated film. Like, I probably should have had an Apple Watch while I was playing. Because, like, I know my heart rate, my tension. The alert, breathe.
Yep.
Hated film, good or bad.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, wash it away again, get a workout in, rehab. Wednesday, boom. I don't even know what happened last week.
So what do you think about this matchup coming up on Sunday? Titans Colts.
You better take advantage.
This is a huge opportunity, right? Because the Titans can go 2-1, put them at 0-3.
But see, this is also, they got overall quality wins.
Yeah.
They already beat the Seahawks, and the Seahawks beat the Colts.
Yeah.
This AFC, I'm telling y'all, we're going to be in like week 15. It's like, boy, I don't know who's about to be in or be out, because across the board, the competition on the AFC side, who is a clear number 1? Who really?
Titans.
Good question.
Hey, it could be.
At least second half,
But as of
Seahawks
right
game
now,
Titans.
it is not. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There is no clear number 1 in the AFC, man, to me anyway.
Yeah.
You expect Buffalo to play better. You expect Kansas City to be able to close games, especially them being the upper echelon. You never know what's going to happen in the AFC North.
No.
Like, it's just, that's a coin.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the South. You're talking about the whole AFC.
I'm talking about the
AFC
whole
period.
Well, I mean, it's
AFC.
Kansas City until somebody does
That's
something.
why you said the Titans, okay.
Look,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I mean, look what they did to them. The
Yeah.
Browns played them to a point into where Kansas City flipped the switch. But that's the AFC is rough this year. Look at the Raiders. Who thought that?
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's early on that one.
I know, but
You always expect Derek Carr. You
But
told
you're
me
right.
this.
You're right.
It's
They got
early on all.
they got two AFC wins,
big
though,
wins.
Big
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
on playoff teams.
Yep.
I
Carson
hear you.
Wentz, 2 sprained ankles. I know we have to go to a break, but just real quick, I mean, if you're an offensive lineman,
Yeah.
your quarterback's coming off 2 sprained ankles, are you wanting him to play?
No, he shouldn't play because he's too mobile for him to be playing.
Yeah.
He uses legs way too much. I need for him to move around. I feel like every quarterback now
Yeah.
moves around.
Yeah.
Love it.
They're not doing the Milton, the just standing up.
What's that?
They're doing
The Joe Milton.
the Joe Milton.
I'll fight you
Firing
right now. I'll fight him right now if you stand like that again.
If you ever catch me standing like
You
that.
stand flat-footed. What we tell our kids? Move your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Bend them knees. Athletic position.
I love it. Hey, Ramon, thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate it.
Bro, I'm going to hang out with y'all, folks.
Yeah,
Hey,
Ramon
Savage in the
Foster
building.
is here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. Rodger Saffold scheduled to be with us soon. Remember, come register for Colts Titans tickets to see Christian at the front of the location here in Hendersonville. We'll be right back on 104.5 The Zone.
you're up.
What up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. 104.5 The Zone. Happy Tuesday afternoon. We are out and about. Buffalo Wild Wings, that's where we are on Tuesdays during the football season. Today we're in Hendersonville. Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. And, hey, Hendersonville showing up.
Man, they did show up, didn't they?
Hey, give yourselves a hand for being here.
No.
Look at Rodger Saffold is here, and he's laughing at y'all.
Listen, man, we got OGs in the building. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Hey, Wild Wings don't call. If you good and happy to be in the building, make some noise. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better.
Roger.
Not like we lost or something Sunday.
Titans offensive lineman Rodger Saffold joins us now on 3HL. Roger, what's up, man? How are
And
you?
I said Roger, we lost or something.
No, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, man. Socially distanced, so it's a little weird, but
It is
doing
weird.
all right.
We had to jump through some hoops to even do these things. So thanks for being over there.
No problem at all.
Hey, how's the shoulder? First off, I know you were in and out of the game on Sunday, which had to be frustrating because you want to be out there with the guys.
Right, absolutely. You know, definitely want to be out with those guys, game in, game out. It was unfortunate, but it's something I actually dealt with before.
Okay.
So it's not new to me, which leads me to be really confident about this week.
All right.
Outside of confidence, too, though, how much coaching did you turn into? You know, it's everything but putting the headset on as far as, you know what I mean, leading the guys and everything, and the people that took your spot right there to fill in. What was that like?
Man, I couldn't be prouder of those guys. I mean, it's so many things can happen, so many distractions. And, you know, losing Taylor early, of course, is just right off the bat is just a little bit hard. But then, you know, for me going down with that injury was really tough. So seeing Aaron Brewer go out there, seeing Tyson Vrilla go out there and do the job, I was in the mix the entire time. It's crazy. You know, with those type of injuries, it's not going to hurt me to walk. It's not going to hurt me to run. So I'm jumping around. I'm still really deep in the game and even prepared to go in if we had an emergency. So, you know, it's just the ebb and flow of the game and just happy that those guys were able to step up.
Did you know that the last time the Seahawks lost a home opener was 2008? So they had won 12 in a row, and I think the NFL record was 13 if they would have gotten it done. The weird thing about that, though, is, and we talked about it last week, in 2008 they lost to the 49ers 33-30 in overtime.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
It's unbelievable.
How loud was it in Seattle?
Oh, man, you know, they haven't been able to have a home game in a couple years, so, I mean, it was extremely loud. I mean, almost the smallest things they were cheering for, you know, and it's great to see, man. You love being in that type of environment. You know, the one thing that I hated for some of those young guys last year is they didn't get some of the environments that, you know, that you just love to play in as a professional athlete. So they got a chance to get that. And then, you know, everybody's looking at me because I was the only person that's been there. You know, when it started getting kind of loud, and I was just like, yeah, it gets you chills, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's fun, man.
You're
It's
the
a lot of fun.
OG.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the funny thing. You were telling us this before we started the show. It was loud, but if you got a false start, they almost acted like the crowd got you, like they won. And they got louder.
They put all false starts on the 12th man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you messed up in the huddle or if, you know, the count was wrong or if we were running out of time. No. They did it the whole time.
They need their props, man.
Yeah. Rodger Saffold with us. Roger, coming in, obviously a lot of talk of new offensive coordinator, you know, adding Julio Jones, new weapon, all of that. And you know, I've said all summer, I'm like, I bet it's going to take time to kind of find that chemistry. Where is this offense when we talk chemistry? Where are you guys right now?
Right now, we're just a step in the right direction. That's what I really take it as. You know, I don't want to say that we arrived because we haven't. There's still a lot of things that we got to correct. Love to see the way that Julio played on Sunday. You know, I mean, that was a breath of fresh air. Love that we're getting a run game going. And love to see the process that it takes to get there. You know, grinding out those 1 and 2 yard and 3 yard runs start to open up in the second half. And, you know, I think that we take a lot of pride in that. But as an offense as a whole, we knew that we looked glamorous on paper. We had, you know, the nice crispy white, you know, little stars on it and everything glitter and everything. But it's all going to come down to the grind, which is, you know, it's not pretty, it's ugly, and it's character defined. And our character really won that game Sunday.
Can we ask this? Like, I know you guys watch Monday's film day, right? So what was the talk on the Julio touchdown that was called back within the team? I get it's a rule, but I think it's dumb. I don't.
Honestly, I think that what it really was is one, if you follow our Twitter account at all, you know it's a bunch of baloney.
Right.
But two, I just didn't think that there was enough to overturn it. I mean, you would need a microscope to see on your television to see if there was a blade of grass in between his heel and out of bounds. But it's just the way that it goes. I can't believe that they found enough to overturn that. I mean,
Agreed.
Yeah, that was crazy. But
Maybe Julio wears white shoes.
instead of the red shoes, so the green. Yeah, a little standout thing. But hey, so how do you regroup from that though? Because y'all could have been down, could have been up, but we're down. You go back to it and you get back to the drawing board and you still say, man, we're knocking at the door. We're knocking at the door, and they're gonna open it. And if they don't, we're gonna kick it in. You come back out second half, and it's a totally different game as far as just controlling it. I mean, from the beginning of it.
I think that we just starting to understand that we have to continue to fall in love with the process.
Yeah.
Because you look at our efficiency in the red zone, it was not the same as it's been in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been very efficient in the red zone, scoring touchdowns instead of settling for field goals. We score touchdowns, and then now the game is completely changed. We don't have to go into overtime, and we get to run our true 4-minute offense, which we really enjoy.
Yeah.
So, it's just once again, just getting back to the process, understanding that this is a step in the right direction, but we're not there yet, and continuing to improve. Daily improvement, daily excellence.
And the potential from those young guys, man, not being able to, like you said, everybody turned to you, especially walking in that stadium. And outside of just walking in that stadium, we got young guys that's really getting time in the NFL now. They don't know how to respond to it. But how good was that to see the potential of those young guys be able to step up into the moments, especially on offense?
I think that you only get those moments when you deal with a lot of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
We've dealt with a lot of adversity in training camp. We went down to Tampa, guys getting injured, guys getting sick. We had to deal with all these different problems. Our offensive line probably had me and maybe Quisenberry were the only people that were starters from last year that were actually playing during camp. So, going through that, I think that it helps in the season when you get in those environments and your back's against the wall. But can you do it when your back's not against the wall?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're looking for.
There you go.
You talk about that, obviously a big part of that is, okay, you have each other's backs. So we played Vrabe's post-game speech in the locker room yesterday, and then Derrick Henry after that. And I just thought it was so telling and such a great look into the culture of this team and this franchise right now. And you've been at different franchises. Now you're part here. What have you seen from that standpoint, just the culture of where you guys are?
I mean, going from L.A. and coming here, it was a bit different just from how we practice, how we prepare, kind of the identity of the team. And, through coming here, I found out that this is a blue-collar mentality out here. I mean, everything is about the effort that you put out. In fact, that's the first thing that you're graded on, above all else, above your technique, your assignment. It's always effort first. So, the team continually does that. So you see that all the time when it comes down to guys running downfield, guys picking up guys off the ground. I mean, if you look at the rest of the game with Julio, when he wasn't getting the ball, he was making great blocks. He had a great block on the first Henry touchdown. I mean,
so
that's
was
what you
AJ.
want to see as your players. Yeah, that's what you want to see as your players. I mean, yeah, with AJ, the second touchdown, the way that he was able to fill in and take the safety pressure and give Derrick a lane, I mean, there was no way for that corner to be right. Safety takes a bad angle to the house.
Rodger Saffold with us on 3HL. There was a number floating around out there. I don't know if you know it, but the Seahawks had won 52 consecutive games when they led by 14 or more in the fourth quarter. That is over. Y'all broke through on that.
Y'all ended it.
So congratulations on getting that dub and headed in the right direction. We'll talk more about the game coming up with the Colts. We'll dive into what makes you, and we'll do all that. Rodger Saffold, Titans offensive lineman, with us at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. We'll be right back on 104.5 The Zone. Slay. Ramon Foster jumps into the mix.
Yes.
I had to make a call or two, and now I'm back.
And Rodger
I didn't want to
Saffold.
take Rod Thunder, man. This is his city, man.
Listen.
I'm not going to lie. I'd rather hear you two talk ball
Oh, man, that'd
instead
be
of
great.
any of us.
You want to hear
That'd be
something
great.
crazy? Raj, for
Yeah.
the longest, for about 2-3 years, I've heard my barber say, yeah, man, Raj this. And I'm thinking he's talking about some guy around the city that we both supposed to know. I'm like, Raj, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I was just went and cut Raj. I'm like, okay. And then it didn't dawn on me, you're Raj. For the longest. And shout out to him for not disposing like his clients, but I was just like, oh, that's the Raj we're talking about. I had no idea, man, for
Yeah.
over 2+ years. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's how.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what's funny though? He did dispose of you to me. So I knew it was you. I knew it was you, but
That's
it's
really
so
funny.
funny.
He
man.
just
It's so
name
funny.
dropped Raj, though, and I was just like, there can be a few Rodgers out here. I didn't know it was the Saffold.
Yeah, Rodger Saffold with us here on 3HL. We were talking with Ramon earlier. He said he could see that 60-yard touchdown run coming. And you said when he fell forward for a 4-yard run in the second half.
Started the third quarter when he went right, and it was like a run that was 5 yards, and he fell forward. I was like, here it goes. You know when it's about to happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. When the first thing that I thought of is, all right, we got this safety pressure coming. Once I saw AJ take that, I said, uh-oh. And then the last thing I remember hearing is, he gone. And that's it. He gone. He was out of there.
Do you think defensive backs, when they come up with an angle on a long play with Henry and they're coming up on him, have these visions of those memes that go viral with the stiff arm rolling through their head?
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that they do. But as you can see, trying to catch him from the tailpipe, you're not going to be able to do that either.
That's what I said earlier. And Raj, you know this to be true. I'm going to
Good way
say
to put
something.
it.
I said it earlier before at the end of the last segment. I was like, shout out to his little league coach, middle school, high school, and college. Because a guy his size, what is a coach usually going to do to him?
Oh, he's going to put him on the line.
I told y'all.
He did say that.
Gonna
Yeah.
put him on the
Dirt.
line every single time.
It's just like a dude who's 6'4" in high school. What position he gonna play, Ron?
Center.
Like, that man ain't no center.
Exactly.
Put a ball in his hand,
Yeah,
man.
let that man get loose.
Yeah. I hate that, dog.
Did you play any other position outside of line growing up?
No, just D-line. Just D-line. I played both sides my senior year of high school.
Oh, you did?
My dad wouldn't let me play another position, another sport until I got my scholarship. Once I got my college scholarship, he was like, do whatever the hell you want.
What you want to do? Yeah. Money made, baby. Go
So
to the
did you
ball.
play another sport after that?
Yeah, I did basketball and I did track. I threw the discus. And I was actually pretty good at discus. I wish I would have spent some more time with that.
For real?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I hated it. Because our coach used to just put the field guys like up at the top of the hill and like, all right, y'all figure it out. He got,
Like your kickers or something?
like straight up, it was 2004, so I'm dating myself a little bit. I'm 35, which ain't that old, but he handed me a VHS. All right, y'all got to watch this tape real quick, get your technique off of this. I'll see you on track day. I hate it. And then the field events, too, you know it. They're the beginning of the track meet. So I go there, throw shot put and disc, and I'm sitting around for 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Don't ever ask my kids to do track.
Wait, look at, I think
Will,
he's
look at
on
the
the
track
other
guy.
side.
Yeah, but see, you had
good
good
with
coaching,
it.
though.
Yeah, I had a one-on-one coach, and he made everything really easy for me. I remember I was struggling with the full spin in discus, and then he's like, you know what, just go up there and sling it. So I didn't spin. I just straight from the finishing point, and I slung that thing and won the whole meet. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Some people just get it, man.
Yeah.
What did the other guys think? Like the guys that are perfecting their spin
Right.
and all of this stuff.
It
And
was
you
a
just,
bunch of expletives.
See, that would have been me. I bought it. Man, he over here cheating and everything, man. This man didn't no spin or nothing, man. Like, what is this? Man, elbow in, like it's supposed to be out. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
That ain't fair. You know what I mean?
Well, have you, like, growing up, were you always the bigger kid? Were you always more athletic? Was that kind of you growing up?
Yeah, I was always like the taller, skinnier guy, but I was athletic. My dad was like, hey, listen, man, I think that you can play the line because I'm a big kid,
Right.
obviously. And the next thing you know, it just kind of took over. But it was hard to gain weight at first.
Yeah.
I think
so what was recruiting like for you in high school? You mentioned getting the scholarship, and then that was freedom, right?
Yes.
What was recruiting like for you?
So I got my scholarship my junior year to Indiana, and then my senior year was when I started getting all these visits.
Yeah.
But Like, they were pissing my teachers off because they were coming to class, taking me out of class. And Mr. Donovan wasn't having that. You know? So, I mean, it was really fun. I mean, it was a great experience, you know, getting to see all those schools coming and then, you know, finally having a day to pick which school you were going to commit to. I mean, it was overall a great experience, man. I really enjoyed it.
Indiana's known as a basketball school. What was?
Oh yeah, they came to basketball practice. They were watching.
So, was there an issue there at all? Like, what was the vibe on campus
Mike Davis
for the football
my O-line coach was also my recruiting coach.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, man, me and him, our relationship was great, and I knew that's just where I was going to be successful at. I knew that's also where I was going to be able to get a chance to play right away.
Hey, they're football school now. Watch out.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. How hard was it to put up with that on campus, knowing that, you know, everybody's going to be, what is it, Assembly Hall?
Because Slay had the opposite.
I had the opposite. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Tennessee, and I went there when they were coming fresh off the national championship. So it's like, y'all just ain't going to come to our games or nothing. I know what to do. So I took that as motivation. We finna flip it. You know what I mean?
Our problem never was having fans in the stand. It was these tailgating parties were too early and too long. You know, you look outside the stadium, it was a red sea of people. It's like, just come inside.
Yeah.
You know, take a time out and just sit and watch the second quarter at least.
They out there, they just ain't in there.
Yeah.
My husband graduated from there.
From
I think
Indiana,
that's
yeah.
still the case, by the way.
It really is. It really is.
Rodger Saffold with us on 3HL at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville. We'll be at Gallatin next week on Tuesday. So, what was the coolest venue you played in college? Like, what stood out to you? You were like, damn, this is pretty awesome.
Man, I think it was Ohio State, man.
Really?
I mean, you know, growing up as an Ohio boy and always wanting to play there, finally getting a chance to play, and I was a freshman. You know what I mean? That was a crazy experience. It was still 100 and whatever thousand people, you know, past, you know, Maurice Claret days and all that stuff. So it was a hell of an experience. And I mean, I was so nervous. You know what I'm saying? I'm 18 years old. This guy, the 3 technique and the 5 tech, both of them were 23 years old. I'm like, man, I'm 18, you know, fresh.
Jeez.
And so was my left guard. He was 18 as well. So we were over here trying to block these twists. And it was 2 grown men playing with their little brothers, man. It was tough.
We're going to have a good time out here.
Ramon, what about you?
What's that?
Playing at Tennessee, what road environment stood out to you?
Road in Florida?
Yeah.
Easily. Florida and LSU, because they're right up on you.
Yeah.
Like, everything that you want to hear about what you don't want to hear about yourself, they're going to tell you. And you know exactly what I mean. Look at Ryan's breakdown right there.
Man, Florida.
Man.
Some fan bases legit do their homework, don't they?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Like, they know everything about you.
Yeah.
But is that and the fact that if you're losing, the thing about the position we play, linemen can't really say much. Like, if you lose and you get off with 100 yards, you can still chirp, but I still got off on y'all. Linemen, like, I got 5 pancakes. Who saw it, sir? Nobody saw it.
I saw the
pregame.
You know?
I saw that false start, though.
Yeah, I saw you feel me?
Yeah.
And now they're starting that you can do that. I would hate the crowds now. I would hate the crowds now.
Rodger, how amazing is Derrick Henry, man? I mean, just from your perspective, blocking for that guy, number one, I would try real hard to get out of the way, get out of the hole, but how amazing is that dude?
He's just a freight train, man. And he's got amazing work ethic. And the Titans have figured out how to keep him healthy and keep him fresh. And that mixture, man, is really hard to beat. Extremely hard. And, I mean, the one thing I also like is, you know, there's a lot of guys, you know, you always see footwork videos from the little guys, right? Mm-hmm. Always see the footwork. This man's over here showing you videos of him squatting, push pressing, curling. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. Because, I mean, just for myself as well, man, I love to work out. Like, that's something that you love to do. So seeing the same thing get out of your back, it make you want to work harder for him.
What's the talk in the summer when those workout videos start trickling out? Like,
oh, there's no question. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. I mean, you know.
That's why you love to see that safety start to come up. Yeah,
I put those numbers up.
Yeah. That safety ain't got a chance when he getting ready to come down here with him.
Well, for those that don't know, Derrick Henry through 2 weeks is leading the NFL in rushing. He's also second in terms of rushing yardage after contact.
Crazy.
Yes.
Ahead of Joe Mixon, who's third with whatever he's got.
Yeah, they were saying that, what was it? He had 182 yards, 160 yards after contact.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then Dalvin Cook had
Somebody else like 120 or something. Somebody else on the tail end.
Raj, if I can ask real quick, Brent, if y'all don't mind, Don.
Hit it.
Coming from L.A. to Nashville, what were your expectations as far as getting in this locker room, playing for a coach that played? I know you played for the young guru, but what was it like setting this culture for what it is now?
Well, it was kind of weird at first because I was just like, this guy's playing, Vrabel's playing at Kansas City, and his retirement year was my rookie year. So, if you would have told me that I was over there in the game and my coach was going to be across on the other sideline, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, first of all, that was nuts. But second, I knew what type of culture that they were, And the thing that I loved is that they has, kind of the same game plan along the same lines as some of the things that I went through in L.A. And the great thing is that I know Coach Vrabel and everybody's super open-minded.
Right.
So going somewhere where you can actually give them information that they can use and they'll actually listen to is a great feeling.
That was that's the reason I asked that question, because you went from a winner to a winner, and me being in one place, I'm like, well, was there anxiety going to a new location? You know what I'm saying?
I was with this team for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And having to up and move out of nowhere. New challenges can be scary, but then the first year that we go over, we figure things out. We get to an AFC Championship game. We're a playoff team the next year, and we got an explosive offense where rushing yards is just going crazy. And now we just want to do it again.
Yeah.
But this is how it has to be, because I don't have many more chances left to go get that ring.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. I just had to ask that, going from one locker room to the next. This is 3HL, baby. I'm here.
I love it. Ramon Foster sitting in, Rodger Saffold sitting in. We got two OGs on the show right now. And, when the deal was made and you were coming to Tennessee, I remember Coach Mack saying, we drafted Rodger. Like, I know everything about him. He's nasty on the field. And so remember in the show, we watched tape on you just pancaking people in the run game. You look like you really love to do that part of your job, to just get out in front of runs and plow people.
Do you remember? I legit watched like 2 hours worth of like YouTube highlights of you when they signed you.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
See who this is.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is, yeah.
I love doing that. But, I think that, as an offensive lineman, you got to take your pride in some of the small things, because, like Ramon was talking about, all of our stats are negative. You know what I mean?
Anything being highlighted.
So, anything. So I think that, taking a man's will and putting him on his back against his will, and he's trying as hard as he possibly can, that's a big accomplishment for a big man.
Yeah, buddy.
I love it. Rodger Saffold with us. Ron Slay's got this thing he does, Raj. It doesn't do it for everybody.
Yeah, everybody don't get to go in. Yeah, see?
Word is spread. Word is spread.
He know it come from life, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got to know the culture, man. So, all right, this is what we got, man, Roger, man. We're going in the boom, boom room. You got to keep your arms and legs inside the ride. Anything you say will be used against you, so you got to speak your truth, say it to the best of your ability, and that's the only way the door will be unlocked. Do you agree to these terms?
I agree. Let's go.
Honk, lock the door.
Ah, yes. One man on his way into the boom, boom room.
All right, baby. We got Saffold in the boom, boom room. Here it is, good and uncut. Similarities, real quick, between Derrick Henry and Steven Jackson.
Ooh, both powerful backs. Got great speed. Just super aggressive.
Yeah.
Super aggressive. I think Steven Jackson was great with yards after contact as well, and so is Derrick. The thing about Derrick is Derrick has that speed to just get away.
Yeah.
Which you don't see too often coming from a running back sometimes.
Yeah.
But his breakaway speed is crazy.
Yeah.
And then, Steven Jackson, he had so many varieties when he was running. The double spin that he did in Seattle was like one of the craziest things that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's just so vicious. Both extremely big backs.
Yeah.
and both can run and take a lick.
Yeah, I think he gets forgotten about a lot, but yeah, I'm glad you touched on that.
Get that man a gold jacket.
Yeah, he got that. Hello, I ain't saying. Y'all heard him.
Hey,
okay, that's all I'm saying. Old school whip or new school?
Man, new school, man.
Okay.
I gotta go new school.
Okay, okay, put your finger on one for me.
That Cullinan, boy.
Hello. Talk that big money talk in the boom boom room. Now.
Wait, the what?
Rolls Royce truck.
Rolls Royce. Yeah,
The Rolls Royce
What
truck.
the heck? Am I the only one that had no idea what that was?
See, now, Raj come out here bringing that Brentwood talk. That's humble Hendersonville. It's humble Hendersonville.
I never got a chance to have an old school, so I feel like I would be fronting if I said old school.
That's real. See, you got to be honest in the boom boom room. That's what it's about. All right, 2K, and listen, in the boom boom room, no cliche answers. So 2K Russia doesn't come along that often. How do you feel looking back on the season from your perspective at the O-line, and more so you, as far as the preparation that it took to go into that season? Now that you got to sit back and look at it like, that's 2000. That's a little bit different, because when he go in the record books, you go in the record books with him.
Right. I mean, I was extremely excited, happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, we're dominant in the run game, and you love it. The one thing that was different for me, though, I was like, man, we could have got the record. There were so many games that we saved Derek because we wanted to keep him fresh. And, I mean, especially like a game like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There was a couple chances for him to get another big run. We rested him in Houston for a little bit. You know, I mean, we were trying to be smart about everything.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if you could go get that record, let's get it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're still thinking about that.
That's honest.
It's
That'll
still
come
on
around.
my mind.
Yeah,
It's still on my mind.
Well,
You know, this
hey.
extra game is just more opportunities.
I mean,
And
guess
you
who's
did it
leading?
at 16.
yeah,
Guess who's leading the NFL in rushing?
Hello.
I mean,
right back on schedule.
Get right back on schedule. You better
Find
believe
that
it.
process again, though. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's all about that
Yeah.
process, man.
As a unit, man. All right, the next question. L.A., Texas, or Tennessee, Texas? Which one do you
Oh,
prefer?
man, that's Tennessee, Texas all the way. Thank you so much, Tennessee. Oh, my goodness.
That is.
Man.
All right, another question for a lot of people that may not know. You still locked in on the gaming world?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What brought that love about?
Man, it's so crazy. So when I was a kid, my older sisters had that Super Nintendo, man. So I started off playing Mario Brothers, fell in love with it. You know, when you're one of five and the only boy, you tend to play video games a little bit more than just hanging out with all the girls.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then once I found out that you could start streaming your gameplay, I started doing that with my friends. They were like, "Hey, you should have your own team." It was very inexpensive to do it back then. Very inexpensive. All I had to do was just get the paperwork together, and we were in world championships for Call of Duty our first year.
What? The rise.
Man.
The rise.
So now we've had employees from all different type of countries.
Wow.
Vietnam, Brazil, man, London. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's picked up so much. And we've had about 6 or 7 different games. We've had national champions. We've had world champions. And next thing is franchising, man.
So gaming is like music. It's universal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
touch everybody's
It's universal. And what's crazy about gaming is that it's like when you get a franchise, you can get franchises in different leagues. So now it's like, let's say Crocky didn't just own L.A., but he also owned, you know, another baseball team, another hockey team. You know what I'm saying? All those teams. So that's what we're like now.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to get into every league.
Rodger Saffold has arrived the boom boom room. You are out of the boom boom room, Saffold. I appreciate it, my brother. I like
It's
the
hot
for him.
now.
Yeah, get hot now. Get good and warm now. You don't know what's coming at you. I appreciate it, man. Brought to you by Low T Center.
all right, when we come back, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Titans-Colts game, and then we're going to give away another pair of tickets to the Titans-Colts game. One of those pairs is in the club level.
One.
No, we've got two. We've
We got two of them, Rich.
Every Tuesday, Rich, we've got two.
two for two.
Buffalo
Our,
Wild
our
Wings is
PR
giving
guy's
away.
like, hold up.
Yeah, wait a minute. All right, we'll be right back. We've got 2 offensive linemen, a basketball player, and me and Babs. We'll be right back. club level for Titans Colts from our guy Kelly with Buffalo Wild Wings.
Kelly, throw your hand in there.
There's Kelly. So when you win the tickets, that's your guy right there. All right. Again, we'll do these every Tuesday, so make sure you come by and see us. We'll be in Gallatin next Tuesday, and we'll have another player. You've got a winner, Ron Slade, for the pair of tickets in the club level for Titans v. Colts.
Got me a winner, man.
Say my name.
Yeah. Did you put your name in the box?
Say my name.
Did you put your name in the box?
Ron, look, I'm not sitting in the regular stand.
That's what I be trying to tell Babs. They won't never let me call in or put my names in boxes.
They ain't none.
You know what I mean?
Ain't none.
Man, listen, man. This ticket going to Jonathan Hanson. Jonathan Hanson, where you at?
Is Jonathan Hanson in the room?
Jonathan Hanson, if you're not even here, I'm going to take him.
No.
That would have been me. That's me. That would have been me.
All right.
That's me.
We will call Jonathan Hanson.
That looked like Jonathan
he was here
Hanson.
earlier.
There you go.
Jonathan Hanson here?
No.
Oh. Looked him dead in his eyes.
All right. You going to beat Jonathan Hanson
All right.
today.
You got one more question for Saffold over here?
Hey, yeah, let me ask Saffold one more question. So you play with a guy like Andre Whitworth, who you saw go and revamp his game, leaving Cincy, coming to L.A. He really extended his career. Been in the league for a long time.
That's a lot of long.
Yeah, it is. He's been in there that long, though.
If I can interject,
yeah,
too,
especially
I
lineman
thought
years.
Cincy was the death of him.
Thought that was it.
He came to L.A. and that sun just hit his skin different or something. He went to Pro Bowl, All-Pro, everything, man. It's crazy.
So when you see a guy like that, what pieces of his game do you take to prolong your career if you wanted to do that?
Oh, I mean, honestly, it all comes down to how you take care of your body.
Right.
And he understands exactly how to, like, prepare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not the guy that's just killing all the weights in the weight room.
Yeah.
He's, like, in Colorado, like, hiking, running, and doing off-balance strength work.
Yeah.
And a lot of corrective exercises to get his body feeling as fresh as humanly possible. I don't know if people know this, but you train up there in that altitude for long enough, you're going to really feel the effects when he came back. I remember he came back from Colorado, and we had the conditioning test. Now, granted, I'm about 6 years younger than him.
Yeah.
About 6 years younger than him. Man, he was keeping up with me every step of the way, man. I started to get angry. I'm like,
look what you doing, dog.
You know what I mean? And our conditioning test, you know, people would say, oh, it's not that bad. And it wasn't as bad for us, but, like, we were running them things. We were running suicides. I remember just him being right there with me the whole way and us running sprints and him being, like, right next to me. I'm like, hold on. Hold on.
What's going on?
And then after that, you know, we didn't have to do that no more. We just got on the Versa climber. And I'm right there with him. But, you know, Whitworth is also a great guy who has a tremendous attitude. Daily attitude changes everything for him.
That's real.
And, you know, he puts everything out there. And I know that I've asked him a ton. I used to be like, Big Whit, like, listen to me, man. Yeah. I woke up for the game today and both my knees hurt. He said, welcome to your 30s.
Hey, Big Whit coming up this weekend. Good luck. Good luck, Rodger, with everything against the Colts.
Man.
And we appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, Rodger Saffold. Yeah, you can clap. You can clap.
Y'all give it up for Saffold. Sometimes you got to tell people sometimes. They just wait for it.
There you go.
Something about your voice.
Hey, Coach Mack and Rhett Bryant coming up next. Mack Talk on 104.5 The Zone. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Coach Mack will join us tomorrow, as will Austin Huff. And Todd Furman will have your winners.
I'm going to write my bets down.
All right, back at it again tomorrow. Listen to The Zone all damn day. We'll be back at it. Thank you. Appreciate you.
We go.
Good night. God bless.